Hello, how are you? Today I've prepared for you some signs and symptoms that are related to high blood sugar, but that seem like other health conditions. Many people think they have some other health problem and treat that other problem on their own, when in fact, it's actually elevated blood sugar. It's very important to pay attention to these signs and symptoms that our body gives us. You're going to love this video, so stay until the end. You won't want to miss it. If you love tips on nutrition, health, and fitness, you're going to love this channel. Go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to get updates. I have new videos every day, and you're going to love them. So let's start talking more about these symptoms and signs that seem like something else. People often don't realize it, but they're actually related to elevated blood sugar. If you enjoy these videos about high blood sugar, pre-diabetes, diabetes, and tips to improve blood sugar control, leave a like so I know you liked it, and I'll make more videos like this for you. Tell me if you have high blood sugar, if you have diabetes, pre-diabetes, what your blood sugar was the last time you checked, what you try to do to control it. Write to me down here in the comments. The first thing that often happens to people with elevated blood sugar is the frequent urge to urinate. So many people who don't know that this could be related to blood sugar think they have cystitis, a urinary tract infection. In the case of men, they think it could be a prostate problem. They believe it's related to prostate hyperplasia. I have a video here talking about this as well. I actually have two really good videos discussing the symptoms of benign prostatic hyperplasia, which can indeed cause this frequent urge to urinate. And I also have a video about urinary tract infections with very important signs and symptoms to watch out for. One of the main differences for you to pay attention to is that these two health issues share similar symptoms, where you feel the urge to urinate, but when it's time to go, very little urine comes out or sometimes nothing at all. So, the urge is constant, but the amount of urine is very small compared to the number of times you try to go to the bathroom. In the case of someone with high blood sugar, a lot of urine will come out because that's how your body tries to eliminate some of the excess glucose from your blood through urine. So the volume of urine is large and the frequency of urination increases. This is an important detail for you to pay attention to. Of course, if you think you might have a urinary tract infection or a prostate problem, it's very important that you see your doctor as soon as possible. Remember that this video is for informational purposes only, and that the symptoms I'm talking about, which are related to high blood sugar, can also be associated with other health conditions. Another symptom that is still related to this, but in a more indirect way, is having a dry mouth, that unquenchable thirst. A lot of people think this is related to dehydration, to exercising a lot, to hot weather, sweating a lot, or needing to drink more water. But in reality, when your blood sugar is elevated, your mouth gets very dry, you become dehydrated, but you drink water, lots of water, many times a day. The feeling of thirst is extremely strong because, as I mentioned, the body tries to eliminate the excess sugar through urine, and your brain signals you to drink water so that urine can be produced and excreted. So, it's not always just related to dehydration, heat, or physical activity you did, but rather to elevated blood sugar. It's important for you to pay attention to this. Another symptom that is very important for you to watch out for is excessive fatigue. Many people think it's related to insomnia, not sleeping well, getting up a lot at night to pee, or being very thirsty at night, so they assume it's connected to other issues. But someone with elevated blood sugar feels very tired, truly more fatigued, and more lethargic. Because even though blood sugar is high, it can't actually get into the cells. It doesn't enter. Insulin can't bind to the cell to open the door, so to speak, for glucose to get in. So the cells are tired, they're lacking energy, they're unmotivated even though blood sugar is high. This is a very important detail to pay attention to. There's another sign that's also related to high blood sugar, which is that constant urge to eat. Your stomach actually growls a lot. And usually it's interesting because this hunger comes, the person eats, but they still lose weight. The weight loss is very rapid. So many people think it's hyperthyroidism. They believe that because they're eating a lot and losing weight, it might be related to the thyroid, which is another hormonal condition, another hormonal imbalance that can also happen and can in fact cause these symptoms. But in the case of high blood sugar, this weight loss is extremely rapid, and the hunger is really very frequent because, as I mentioned, the cells are very hungry. They can't get the glucose they need, so that's another very important sign to pay attention to. Another symptom that makes people confused about what they're feeling is excessive hunger. As I mentioned, glucose doesn't enter the cells very well, so the cells are deprived of energy, of glucose, and the hunger signal is recurring, sent by your brain. So there are people who really eat a lot. Some even say they must have worms because they're eating all the time, have a huge appetite, and they take medicine for worms, try to treat worm problems that don't even exist, which aren't related to this at all. So if you've recently started having an unusually large appetite, of course it could be worms, but it's much more likely to be related to your glucose levels as well, so it's worth looking into. Another recurring symptom is nausea. Since blood sugar is elevated, the body feels more bloated, digestion slows down, so often people eat and then feel nauseous. Some people, on the other hand, actually lose their appetite. These symptoms always vary from person to person, which is why it's so important for us to try to see which ones are present together and obviously to go to the doctor because they will do a clinical evaluation and a blood test. But this nausea, this feeling that your stomach isn't completely empty, or even loss of appetite, can be a symptom of high blood sugar, and many people think it's gastritis. They treat it as gastritis. Start taking those over-the-counter antacids from the pharmacy, so don't self-medicate. If you feel very nauseous along with these other symptoms, it could indeed be high blood sugar. Another recurring symptom for those with high blood sugar is blurred vision, more difficulty seeing, that trouble seeing things clearly. And there are people who believe they have cataracts, or that their eyes are simply tired, or that after turning 40, they automatically need glasses, or even that the problem is connected to some other eye condition. Not necessarily. Many times, this is actually a symptom of high blood sugar and also requires investigation. Another symptom of high blood sugar is recurring infections. So a person might have candidiasis, or even cystitis, urinary tract infections, or even skin infections, or difficulty with skin healing. This is related to high blood sugar in different ways. In the case of candidiasis, it's related to the higher presence of sugar in the urinary and genital area, which favors the growth of candida. We know that high blood sugar can indeed lower our body's immune defenses, and that's why often the growth of harmful bacteria that can cause cystitis may occur. And even this excess sugar, if you injure your skin, it impairs healing. So it's not necessarily just poor immunity on its own. This weakened immunity may be related to high blood sugar. It's also worth investigating. Another symptom that affects many people with a sudden increase in blood sugar is rapid weight loss, and it's mistaken for a metabolic issue. For some people, this ends up being something that really stands out, and people usually associate it with diabetes. But there are people who think this might be related to a faster metabolism, or even to hyperthyroidism, and believe it's another health condition. That's why it's always important for you to see a doctor and have the necessary hormones and glucose levels tested in your blood so they can reach a diagnosis. You can't just make assumptions in this case. It's very important for you to know what's causing this weight loss so the doctor can provide the right treatment. Remember that I have here on the channel, as I mentioned, that playlist with lots of tips for diabetics to help control blood sugar, as well as recipes that can help manage your blood sugar. I'll leave all of that down below in the description for you. Let me know if you have high blood sugar, if you experience any of these symptoms, or if you notice any of these signs. I would love to see your comment. Remember to like the video, it really helps me out, and share it with anyone who might enjoy it. Let this video reach those who need it. Let's work together, you and I, to expand this chain of good, because that's what I want here on the channel. See you next time. Bye.